lost him. And you know what? It was just about to get good, too. It was just getting good. We lost
Should
him.
we take the break and maybe he'll call back? I don't know.
You know what? We can take the break, and we can see if Ethan can reconnect with him, because I want to hear where he goes with that answer. I don't know. CJ, I'm just saying, we just started bringing up some deep stuff, and then it gets cut off. Is the Illuminati listening to the show? Just saying.
Welcome back to the show. 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
That's it. I'm going home.
Dang, man.
See ya.
I wouldn't even be on the air on any of our stations before 8 o'clock. I don't know where that came from. Reading, it's hard.
Well, I think when you have a I'll say in all candor, when you're in a foreign country and a monkey in a diaper sitting on your head, you're asking for trouble.
Discussion can end there. That's right. Boom. It's a definitive statement on the issue. Now we move on.
So how many times have you thought about that was a bad idea that I had a monkey on my head since you had the monkey on your head?
Every time I go visit Dr. Pellegrino, my personal doctor. Do you know what it's like to tell your doctor that?
Well, Doc, I also had a monkey. Excuse me? Had a monkey on my head with a diaper on. I bet you that's the first time Dr. Ron has ever heard that one. He's probably heard a lot of things.
He's heard a lot. Yeah, Dr. Ron has.
He's one of the great West Virginians. He's up there from the Northern Panhandle.
He's awesome.
Tremendous.
Yeah, Dr. Ron. Good dude.
We were talking in my office a little earlier, and a phrase that Ryan used that I was really kind of gobsmacked over. He started a sentence with me. He said, "We were watching football on Thursday."
I know, he did the same thing to me. He did this. Is this like Earth 2?
I said, what?
He came back and started telling me about the Cowboys and the Chiefs game.
I know.
And you were watching the Lions game on Thanksgiving Day.
Well,
what happened? What happened to our little Ryan?
Well, when my Uncle Bill and my Uncle Chris asked if I want to watch football with them, I don't say no.
Okay.
So,
because I'm not I'm not a recluse anymore.
So if you have uncles that are big sports fans, do you get some creds? Are you like, hey, I'm actually you want to kind of sports show, it's syndicated.
Well, I don't.
Statewide.
Well, I don't want this to be a sports show.
Second game this season that Honors had 8 threes. Second time he's had 8 threes, and his coach has pulled him out with over 4 minutes to go.
You're up 40.
Yeah, but coach just does not want to see him get that record.
There may have been a discussion about that on exactly where he was in the number.
Did you let him know this time?
But there was a discussion about where he was with the number. But at the end of the day, Ross decided the juice not worth the squeeze there. With 3.5 minutes left is when he pulled him out after the timeout there. And that's a guy with a lot of minutes on his in his body. You need to rest him. But 2 out of 11, you got to think maybe he's going to approach that again. Here's what's wild. In those 2 games where he's just been one off of Alex Ruoff's record, he's now a combined 16 of 20 from 3 in those 2 games. So he didn't just make 8 threes, guys. He was 8 of 11 last night. He was 8 of 9 when he did it before. 16 of 20 combined in those 2 games.
Across this great state of West Virginia, welcome in high school game nights. I chuckle a little bit, folks, because it said early edition.
As compared to the
Only
rest
edition.
of the edition, yeah.
Yeah. Tonight is going to be interesting, to say the least.
10 seconds remaining.
Going to be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
You had a moment of clarity about when it all started to make sense for you?
It did, because I didn't want to be a filmmaker growing up. I didn't even know what filmmaking was growing up. I used to watch Oprah and Katie Couric, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be you. And I worked at West Virginia University's radio station, had a very thick accent. People would call in and make fun of me. And so I asked my roommates, my college roommates who were from Baltimore, to teach me how to talk differently.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a loss, I feel, from that. And it's probably one of the reasons why I love documenting people that are authentic. Like, I don't know if I'm authentic, but I think the people I find are very authentically who they are, and that's what draws me to them.
Hope you're bundled up. It is freezing cold across the state of West Virginia. We'll get into that, plus what's happening at the legislature, and we'll dive in to the White House's decisions and path forward when it comes to immigration enforcement in Minnesota. Lots to get to. This is Metro News Talk Line, and we are underway.
Not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the Metro News Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is Metro News Talk Line with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set line up link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Q Dave and TJ. You're on. Metro News Talk Line is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. Glad you are with us. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the phone number. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line. Those are your two ways to weigh in. Glad you are joining us across the West Virginia Metro News Radio Network and one of our great radio affiliates, or if you are watching on the Metro News TV app, show's also available on Facebook and YouTube as well. We deliver it to you each and every day. All right, coming up later this hour, we will be talking to Geno Chiarelli, Montague County delegate. He's got a bill that is on the House floor for third reading, up for passage today to create the West Virginia Collaboratory. Also, he's got a bill that is in committee working its way through the system over on the House side to create the Mountaineer Flexible Tax Credit. We'll talk to him about that. Also, if you want to keep the heat on, you want to keep the stove working, there are men and women out there ensuring you're continuing to get your utilities. We'll talk to Toby Rice with EQT coming up a little bit later on this afternoon, a little bit later on this morning about what goes into that in these frigid temperatures. Also, Brad McElhinny stops by. We'll check in on Capitol Hill with Ryan Schmelz. Jeff Manasso will join us as well. Say good morning to TJ Meadows in the Encova Insurance Studios via the palatial Meadows Estate this morning. Morning, buddy.
Oh, that's pretty funny. The palatial Meadows Estate. Well, I got to tell you, at least I can see out.
You got a window.
Sunshine. I got a window. There's sunshine. Technology wasn't our friend today in the Charleston studio, so I'm doing it from the house. But thank God there's a little sunshine out. I had just about had it. I can do the cold. I can do the ice. I can do the snow. The lack of sunshine is about to drive me crazy. So the fact that it's coming in today makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. It's great to be here with you. Thanks for having me.
Well, it won't be warm and fuzzy outside. It was the lowest. I got a 0 degrees on the temperature on the car on the way in this morning. I imagine it was colder than that in the upper elevations, outlying areas. It's going to be, I saw a wind chill factor of 21 below this weekend. Yikes. Ooh. That's Canada cold.
Yeah, you called me this morning. I was just about to go out and start the car. And you called and said, hey, you might want to hold up on that car wash. And I thought, okay, yep. So at least I didn't have to go out and do that. So thank you very much, sir, for alerting me to what we're dealing with today. Technology, gotta love it.
It's great until it's not. But we plug on. Last week, did you get into this? I'm trying to remember your commentaries last week. But Governor Morrisey made the announcement for the coal reformation project there in Mason County. Then Senator Justice pointed out on his social media, hey, we announced that back in 2022. And the social media back and forth was on from there. Stephen Allen Adams, Capitol reporter and columnist, wrote in his Sunday notebook that the Cold War between the two officials, Governor Morrisey and former governor and current U.S. Senator Jim Justice, is on. And he joins us on Metro News Talk Line. Stephen from All Good Newspapers. Good morning, Stephen Allen Adams.
Hello, gentlemen. Coming to you from the basement of the Capitol building today as lawmakers get underway. Senate Education's meeting right now, looking into this Hancock County situation and the bill to deal with that. So despite the cold, despite some of the ice that's certainly still here in the Charleston area, we are kind of back to work today.
Speaking of cold and ice, Stephen, the relationship between Governor Morrisey and Senator Justice. And look, I understand why, if you're the governor, why, if you're the senator, that you want to make certain people know you were part of making these deals happen, whether it was to get the deal rolling or to close the deal at the end. Here's the bottom line, Stephen, and this is just coming from your average perspective. 10 years from now, 13 years from now, 14 years from now, is anybody going to remember that long after the plant is built and open, or am I just crazy?
I think you're absolutely correct. I mean, I don't know. I get a little floored by this sometimes because, I want people to kind of stay in their lanes. And Governor Morrisey has his lane. He's the governor of the state. Jim Justice was the governor of the state. He's no longer the governor of the state. He's a U.S. senator. And I guess maybe as a reporter, I would certainly like to see more work product out of the junior senator from West Virginia focused on that. But it does seem to be you have a back and forth between Governor Morrisey and Senator Justice. And it's been going on literally since almost the day after Morrisey first got sworn in, when you had the $400 million structural deficit that they said they were coming into for FY26 before he presented his balanced budget proposal. That's something that didn't sit well with former Governor Justice, who felt like he left the state in good financial hands. So that's the first kind of back and forth in this, what I jokingly called the Cold War. Now you kind of flash forward now to this little project that I guess, Frontiers North America announced this under the Justice Administration. I had actually forgot about this project. We had written about it at the Wheeling Intelligencer in regards to a $850 million investment for a coal reformation facility to take coal and try to get some byproducts out of it, such as different types of fuels and products and things of that nature. They were supposed to break ground in 2023. They didn't, for whatever reason. So Morrisey now announces that they have broken ground and have, or at least bought the property that they need in Mason County to do this project. That's wonderful, and I think the governor should praise that and announce that. I do think perhaps Morrisey should have threw a little line in his press release that at least harkened back to the fact that this project started under Jim Justice. On the other hand, I do kind of wish that, I don't know, Jim Justice ought to be bragging about this, considering that he announced it in 2022 and it didn't happen. So I think they're both being a little hard-headed here.
Does this go beyond politics? Because Justice is a business guy. And I have to tell you, as a guy that did business development for a number of years, there's no way on God's green earth I would let someone else take credit for a project that I developed from the ground up. So I kind of see it, if I'm being honest, from Justice's viewpoint. I agree with you. I think if Governor Morrisey had given him a nod and said, hey, great win here, now I'm moving this along and here's what's happening next. But these two, Stephen, politically, let's just face it, they don't like each other. The only way I think this is going to end is if Jim Justice decides he doesn't want to run for governor. And even if he doesn't, he's not going to back Patrick Morrisey. So maybe that won't even end it. Am I right or wrong?
Well, I think you're partially right. I'm still of the opinion that Justice doesn't run for governor because I think there's a way too much political pressure from Senate Republicans to keep him where he's at and not have to have another seat that you have to fundraise for. Sure, it's a solid R seat, but why expend money? And keep in mind, the Senate Republican Senatorial Committee single-handedly bankrolled Justice's campaign in 2024. He didn't throw almost any of his own money into it at all. So I still think that there's pressure on him to stay. But does he want to exert some of his influence and pressure to make sure that Patrick Morrisey is not governor in 2028? Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could see that certainly with Larry Pack, governor, former senator, current senator, former. That's hard, man. Yeah, former Governor Justice's revenue secretary and chief advisor, and other avenues like that. I think you're going to see that type of pressure, and I do think to some extent it's political trolling in a way. Yes, you were right. If I'm Jim Justice, I don't let anyone take credit for my project, which again, I'd make the argument if Morrisey just put a little line in there, just harkening back to the history of the project, I don't know that you would have had this back and forth. I had pointed this out about the 2022 date on this and quickly got retweeted by the senator's office, his social media accounts. They put out a press release for that, and the Morrisey administration, to their credit, tried to kind of walk it back. It's like, well, of course, we give credit to former Governor Justice for doing this, but I just think that this is kind of a dumb fight, and it goes back to Dave's point. No one's going to care about this outside of those of us that are in political or economic development circles. No one's going to pay attention who started this project.
Stephen Allen Adams joining us, Ogden Newspapers. What I don't know if it'll end this political, back and forth, but what would certainly help the Morrisey administration, you pointed this out in your column, Stephen, and this is something, TJ, you have said multiple times. The governor needs his own project. And granted, he's only been in office for a year, and development projects take time, but something that his administration has cultivated, has developed bottom up, something that is his, that wasn't started in a previous administration where you have to give some partial credit, and he can take all the credit. That's what he really needs, and the sooner the better, guys.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. And you make good points there. He's only been in just over a year. Economic development projects take time. And let's go back to Jim Justice for a moment. How many projects got announced that never happened? Now, the projects that did come to fruition, say the new cores or the Forum Energies, are big projects. Those are big wins, and I think TJ would probably agree. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so you got to take some of these shots, and you are going to see projects fall through. It's just the way that works, for sure. But yeah, and I'm sure Morrisey's team, I've talked to some of his economic development team. I know they've got projects in the pipeline. They're just not ready to announce. And they've made it pretty clear they don't announce unless, shovel is inches from going into the ground. They're waiting to announce until they know for sure the project's a reality. And I get that. But he definitely needs something his own, something that didn't start in a prior administration, and something that hasn't already been, say, on the drawing board, because a lot of these projects, one of the reasons you don't see a ton of excitement from the world out there in natural gas or any of these other economic development groups is because they already knew this stuff was coming. Sometimes this stuff's been on the drawing board for a decade. It's great that it's happening, for sure, and that should be celebrated. But Morrisey definitely needs to kind of make it clear what's his and what he's kind of being handed the baton on.
Stephen, is it fair to think that because the governor has a more vested interest in upcoming midterms, I mean, I don't think it's any secret that there are certain House seats he'd like to see with people and members that are friendly more to his cause than other causes. As he tries to weigh into that or as that comes up, is he placing himself and placing a lot of pressure on himself because of that midterm, and he needs one of those signature announcements by the midterm that otherwise he wouldn't have to face for a while?
It's possible. I mean, I'll give you the example of, I think, a misstep, and we've seen this a couple times, but in this case, the Cowpines Project or the Cowpine Project. Why would you not announce that at your state of the state? I mean, one of the complaints I've heard from people that listen to it, lawmakers, officials, lobbyists, is he didn't have any economic development announcements. Yeah, they talk about some job creation here and there, but not for specific companies or anything like that. That Cowpines Project gets announced, a week or so later. Why wait to do that? And it's same with some of those projects that got announced over the summer. The First Energy natural gas project is something I'd known about before the governor announced it, because they were telling me about it at the governor's at the Chamber of Commerce Summit. Why not announce that there, with the officials from First Energy? I mean, I don't know if the goal is to try to save some of these announcements for closer into the midterms. I mean, he's not up in the midterms, and I don't know who it necessarily helps lawmaker-wise. So it just seems like if you got the projects to announce, I'd say go ahead and announce it.
Throw them out now. No, it makes sense. I mean, an announcement today is worth more than an announcement tomorrow, politically, to your point.
Right.
Stephen Allen Adams, Ogden Newspapers. What you keeping an eye on at the Capitol today?
Well, definitely the bill dealing with the Hancock County financial distress situation in their school system. They're still discussing that in committee as we speak. They've got State Superintendent Michelle Blatt on the stand right now asking her questions. So that's a big one. I think we're also watching, some of us are watching this human smuggling bill, which I kind of suspect they may put on the back burner, put it on the inactive calendar, just because with everything that's going on in Minneapolis, they might want to kind of let things cool down before they deal with that, since it deals primarily with illegal immigration. So those are the things I'm watching.
Hey, Steve,
We're day
go ahead.
13? I was going to say, we're day 14. Day 14, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong on the math. I'm still not seeing Team West Virginia moving at all. And I would
Really?
at least by now. I mean, is anything?
We've already had 2 bills from the.
Well, I meant the actual structure, like.
Oh,
John's
you mean
Ohio,
just
like-
the Team West
Yes.
Virginia bill itself? Yeah, that
Yes.
hasn't popped out yet. I don't really know why. I know I kind of suspect, while some people were publicly about it, I think some people behind the scenes might be pushing against it in economic development circles. So we'll see. But yeah, that one seems to be taking its kind of merry time for being put into a committee. But I'm watching it.
He's Stephen Allen Adams. You can read his work statewide in the Ogden newspaper chain. Always a pleasure, Stephen. We'll see you back in person next week, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Coming up, Jeff Manasso, Fox News Radio. We'll get the latest on what's happening in Minnesota. This is Talk Line from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Building a stronger West Virginia isn't just a dream, it's a mission. The High Technology Foundation knows economic diversity is the key. For over 30 years, they've been dedicated to transforming the state's economic landscape. Conveniently located in the heart of West Virginia, innovation, growth, opportunity, all under one roof. There's no need to look far for change. It's happening right here at the High Technology Foundation in North Central West Virginia. Visit WVHTF.org to learn more.
Metallurgical coal builds the world, and the Met Coal Producers Association is the network that makes it possible. The MCPA unites America's met coal producers, giving members a powerful voice in policy, partnership, and progress. Producers, suppliers, and innovators come together here to build relationships, drive growth, and strengthen our industry. Join today. Visit metcoal.com. Met Coal makes it possible. MCPA makes it personal.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Hospitals drive West Virginia's economy. They produce jobs and create opportunities while keeping our communities healthy. Employing nearly 54,000 people, West Virginia hospitals rank among our state's largest and most dependable employers. They provide more than $1 billion in community benefits and generate nearly $17 billion in total economic impact each year. Hospitals are investing where it counts, advancing health, ensuring access to care, and powering West Virginia's economic future.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
At the Health Plan, we are here for you, and we have been one of the most trusted carriers for over 40 years. Headquartered right here in West Virginia, providing exceptional health coverage and local customer service.
The health plan, we are here for you.
You're listening to Talk Line on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
WV leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia. The High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop Thoron.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Metro News Talk Line is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Let's get to Fox News Radio's Jeff Manasso. In Minneapolis in particular, tensions have been running high since the shooting of 37-year-old Alex Preddy, the second federally involved shooting involving federal law enforcement officers. Has the president changed course? Let's check in with Fox News Radio's Jeff Manasso. Jeff, good morning. What's the latest in Minneapolis?
Hey, good morning, my friend. Well, the tide might be turning in Minnesota. President Trump touting productive calls, he says, in a statement after speaking to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey to tamp down the violence and the chaos in the Twin Cities. Tom Homan also set to meet with Mayor Frey today, we're told, as he takes lead on those operations. So it looks like, at least right now, that locals in the state might be cooperating on finally giving ICE access to the criminal illegals that are locked up in jails and set for deportation, something they haven't done. Remember, back in December, ICE identified about 500 criminal illegals that Frey and Walz released from jail back into the community. There were also over 1,360, according to our numbers, more criminal illegals in jails, but local and state, they have not cooperated on handing them over to ICE for deportation. So we'll see if they now cooperate. But ICE has always said, give us access to the worst of the worst, or we're going to be forced to go into neighborhoods, track them down. And by the way, we'll take everyone with us. That is in the country illegally that we find. In exchange, perhaps, for a reduction of federal agents in Minnesota, as there's kind of a shift. Border Patrol Chief Greg Bovino, he's who's been leading that mission. He's back in California to the border sector there, and so the move signals increased federal involvement as officials work to stabilize the situation and restore order. We're going to find out really fast whether or not that's taking place.
Bovino had very sharp words, his characterization of the video, as did Noam. I'm wondering, has Homan said anything now that he's on the ground to rebut or soften any of those critiques that the two first had when the video surfaced?
Well, Homan has also had some pretty harsh words, too, for the people who are not cooperating. But look, Greg Bovino, from his time in Chicago and other cities across the country, kind of a no-nonsense stance. So this is what we're going to do, and we're going to finish the job and get it done no matter what, no matter who tries to stop us. Obviously, the temperature has risen with protesters coming in and doing what they do by the thousands. And then the two shootings, the two deadly shootings that have taken place over the last couple of weeks. As far as the latest one, Alex Freddie. DHS now saying it's reviewing the body camera footage from officers involved in that shooting death. We'll see where that goes. And again, as agitators continue their campaign of targeting night.
Fox News Radio's Jeff Manasso. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. It is 10:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening across the great state of West Virginia.
Some of the state's top boys and girls matchups live and free on Metro News TV. Plus our exclusive new interview series, State of Minds, and your favorite daily programs right on your smart TV or streaming device. Get more information at WV Metro.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Mike Nolting. Bitter cold air now the challenge for road crews. The cold air will prevent the temperatures from reaching the freezing mark for at least the next week. In Mon County, the roads are in decent condition, according to West Virginia Metro News, I'm Mike Nolting. Bitter cold air now the challenge for road crews. The cold air will prevent the temperatures from reaching the freezing mark for at least the next week. In Mon County, the roads are in decent condition, according to Mon County Commission President Tom Bloom.
How they have cleared the roads, how they prepared for it, was an amazing job. And I believe 90% of the roads are really accessible. And I want to give a shout out to Joe Pinnell and Earl Gaskin from the DOH, and also Anderson Excavating.
No serious incidents have been reported during this winter weather event. Winter weather limited legislative activities in Charleston Monday, and today the House operating on a 2-hour delay. House floor session gets started at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Thousands of Appalachian Power customers remain in the dark since the Sunday storm, and officials there say the crews are working as quickly and as safely as possible to restore electrical service. Deputies from the Harrison County Sheriff's Department investigated a DOH snowplow versus pickup truck crash Monday in Wolf Summit. Volunteers from the Reynoldsville Fire Department also responded to that crash, reported at 7:36 Monday evening. Officials said all involved in that incident refused treatment at the scene. The roadway was restricted for just about 90 minutes. You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
The high school basketball season is underway, and you can watch some of the state's top boys and girls matchups live and free on Metro News TV. Plus our exclusive new interview series, State of Minds, and your favorite daily programs right on your smart TV or streaming device. Get more information at WVMetroNewsTV.com. Metro News Television is powered by Dan Cavett GMC, Gomart, Lou Wendell Marine, Stike Wealth Enhancement, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and Poca Valley.
The United Way of Harrison and Doddridge counties has launched a search for their next executive director. Former Clarksburg City.
Fighting some technical gremlins today, so if you will please bear with us. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line, and 800-765-TALK's the phone number, 800-765-8255. We've got some of your thoughts coming up next segment. Brad McElhinny in the second hour, and how are you getting all those nice utilities? Is your house nice and warm? You've got your gas, heating your furnace, using your stove? We'll talk about that coming up second hour as well. Over on the House side of the legislature this morning, a couple of committee meetings, the House Judiciary Committee and House Finance Committee. They have a few bills up for both markup and passage and hearings in those committees this morning. Geno Chiarelli is the delegate from Montague County, a delegate from Montague County. One of those bills that is up in House Finance today is House Bill 4013. It is the Mountaineer Flexible Tax Credit Act. Aims to establish the Mountaineer Flexible Tax Credit to promote economic development via targeted business tax incentives tied to new projects and expansions. You have our attention. Joining us on Metro News Talk Line is the delegate sponsoring that bill, Geno Chiarelli. Delegate Chiarelli, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, Dave, as always.
Appreciate you coming on. So kind of give us the broad overview of what the Mountaineer Flexible Tax Credit Act would do.
Sure. So over the past 10 years, the Republican legislature has gone above and beyond to make the state as attractive as possible for businesses of all kinds. If you look at the Office of Economic Development, they offer a plethora of tax credits. I think it's up to 23 now. The problem that we were starting to hear about a little bit more and more is that if you don't fit the criteria for one of these tax credits, well, there's nothing really for you. So the Mountaineer Flexible Tax Credit is, as the title would suggest, a flexible tax credit that can be used to accommodate companies. It meets them where they're at based on the size and scope of their project, the number of jobs that they're bringing, the average pay of those jobs, and we're able to offer them an incentive that doesn't currently exist in stone through the Office of Economic Development currently.
So, Geno, you talked about the number of tax credits. I think you said 22, 23. This one in addition. Before we dive deeper, plain upfront question. We're trying to cut income taxes. Would it be better for us to reduce income taxes and take the hit there, or implement programs like these? Which should we do? Or can we do both?
Well, it's one of those things where this is why we certainly have the Finance Committee. They're the ones that are meeting about my bill. I'm not on that committee, so I trust them entirely to work it through the process, to figure out what our priorities are. We are more than eager to hear any plans regarding income tax reduction, at least any additional income tax reduction, because as you guys know, we have the trigger plan that is currently set in place to cut us as we meet certain milestones. I really think that this is a situation in which we can walk, chew gum, and juggle all at the same time. I think we have the ability to consider multiple proposals at the same time, and I think that this one is specifically geared toward, the Mountaineer Flex Act is specifically geared toward getting these businesses here, which in turn would help us accelerate income tax reduction in general. So I think that we could do both.
Geno, is this another attempt to, I don't want to say necessarily circumvent, but deal with the burdensome business, or not the business occupation, but the business inventory machinery tax that so many have talked about being regressive when it comes to business and economic development?
Yeah, so that's certainly one that we hear a lot about between the inventory tax and the process to actually eliminate that is a little bit difficult. We tried to give ourselves the opportunity to do so, but the voters turned that down at the ballot a couple of years ago. So while we are figuring out ways to proactively and productively deal with that, this is something that we have in the meantime, and I think it has a lot of promise.
Talk to us about how much it would cost. Do we have any idea how many businesses may take advantage of it, and what kind of money we're talking about here?
Well, it's hard to predict those kind of things, because to me, this is one of those types of one of those bills where we cast a wide net, we see what we can catch, and then we bring it back there, and then we'll look at the impact. As far as upfront costs, there is nothing, because none of these companies are here as of right now. We are putting our offers on the table to see what we want to bring. So while we would potentially not be able to collect on some tax revenue later down the line, I think the net payoff would easily outweigh that based off of the jobs that would prospectively come here. We modeled it very closely after a bill that is from Mississippi, I believe, where they call it MFlex, very, very similar to this, and they seem to have had some positive results.
Montague County Delegate Geno Chiarelli joining us here on Metro News Talk Line. So, Geno, what kind of action or development or expansion among businesses would this bill incentivize?
Sure. So what we did in the bill was we laid out economic development projects that actually qualify, and there's a pretty decent list. We have warehouse or distribution facilities, manufacturing, remanufacturing, assembly, processing, refinery operations, research and development enterprises, regional or national headquarters for companies, airship or barge transportation, repair, maintenance, data or information processing, technology-intensive businesses like software development. We are really, really trying to diversify our economy here, because you guys may have been keyed into some of the presentations from Dr. John Deskins from WVU, who does a number of these economic outlooks all around the state. I've heard him do county-specific ones. I've heard him do statewide ones. One of the recurring themes in all of these presentations is that West Virginia is very, very reliant on our natural resource industry. And I wholeheartedly support coal, natural gas, whatever we have to do to keep the lights on. I'm 100% on board. However, we cannot rely on these industries forever. We want our state to grow. We want West Virginia to win. And with any investment strategy, I think that diversification is the key.
2 clarification points. One, this is only for net new business. If I'm understanding you correctly, it wouldn't apply to anybody that's already here. And if you're targeting this and you're putting it forward, I'm guessing you got a fish on the hook, Geno. Am I right or wrong?
Well, there's a lot of things. There are a lot of conversations that are happening. This sort of ties into some of the discussions that I had when I went with a few of my colleagues to Portugal to talk about some international businesses that we're looking at bringing over to West Virginia. I was specifically in the health tech space, but this is for projects that from July 1st, 2027 and forward is when companies would be able to apply for this tax credit. Stay tuned. That's all I can say.
Geno Chiarelli, Montague County delegate, joining us. That is House Bill 4013. It's with the House Finance Committee today. That is up for markup and passage in committee. Geno, you've also got a bill you're sponsoring on the House floor today on third reading. It's House Bill 4002, establish the West Virginia Collaboratory. Explain.
Yes. So that's another great thing that we have modeled after a program in North Carolina. It's housed at UNC Chapel Hill. It basically creates a go-between between the legislature and the universities, where we have people pretty much on standby, ready to go when it comes to performing research. We heard a lot about the projects that they worked on specifically in North Carolina, dealing with PFAS and resource utilization rates and road projects. So it's a think tank specifically for the purposes of advancing legislation that benefits all West Virginians. That's one that I'm really, really excited for. I don't think it's going to, it's not going to have a lot of big headlines. It's not super glamorous, but information and knowledge is power. You guys know that better than most. So the more information that we have to work with when crafting legislation down here in Charleston, the better.
Well, I think it's a base hit, Geno, right? And base hits win ball games. Talk to me about WVU in your district. You're from Mon County. For those who may not know, we had Dr. Benson on yesterday, Albert Wright. They're talking about the huge economic driver that West Virginia University and WVU medicine is. You talked about the Carolinas. Can we ever leverage WVU, do you think, further to really become, I don't know that we're ever the research triangle that you have in North Carolina with the institutions there, but can we further that? Can we get there? Can we leverage WVU's momentum with the things that you want to do in the House and others and pump our game up a bit?
Oh, yeah, I absolutely think that we do. While the collaboratory in West Virginia would be housed at Marshall, all of the colleges are going to be involved. We heard from a number of the universities when the bill was actually in committee. They were all very eager to stand up and speak to how their teams, their respective universities are ready to play ball. We really want to establish that here. I think building these collaboratories across the country and collaborating with other collaboratories, I think is really gonna help drive us forward here. I also think that we've seen a lot of really productive networking when it comes to the health system. West Virginia University, the Children's Hospital just received that large donation. They're now part of a larger children's network where a big thing that they do is data sharing and process improvement and standard operating procedure efficiency improvement. All of these things, the more that we can work with each other, I think will reap dividends on that.
Geno, I think we have a tremendous opportunity, and we say this about economic development. I've heard Mitch Carmichael say this in the past, and other lawmakers as well. We may not be big, we may not have huge numbers, but we can be nimble, and we can move quickly to adapt to whatever we need. I think you apply the same thing to this idea, collaborating, bringing people together, whether it's the health systems, the universities. We've got Marshall, we've got WVU, then we got the, Fairmont State, Glen. We can all work and kind of go in the same general direction and push this thing forward rather than fighting amongst ourselves, Geno. And I think we have a tremendous opportunity here in West Virginia that you may not have in other places, like where, say, Duke, UNC, and, NC State all don't get along with each other all the time.
I think that's exactly correct. I think when the people send us down to Charleston here specifically, they want us to know that we are taking a team approach. We're all walking in unison to try and achieve the same results for our people. And what you said about us being nimble, being able to react quickly to the ever-changing and the dynamics of the business ecosystem, that's exactly is the logic behind the flexible tax credit, is we have to be able to think and move at the same time. We have to be able to really adapt and react. We don't have as much time to think and plan. We want to be able to be quick on our feet, and that's why I think between the collaboratory, the flexible tax credit, and some of the other things on the House Job First, Opportunity Everywhere agenda, I think it's really going to push us forward.
Business wasn't too happy last year. They were, pretty candid about that. What are you hearing from the business community this year? Do you feel like the legislature is on a better path toward helping business and promoting business than what it was last year, at least in the eyes of the business community?
Sure. So when it comes to the comments from business community people, I haven't heard a bad thing. And I think the positivity goes well beyond the borders of the business community here. I've talked to plenty of constituents about it that are excited to hear that we're talking about growth. They're excited to hear that we're talking about economic development, opportunity, jobs, housing. They want us to be down here, and they want us to make the state as strong as possible. I haven't really heard a bad thing from anybody about the proposed agenda. And it's really reassuring because for the first time in a while, it feels like that we are really, really united in purpose.
Montague County Delegate Geno Chiarelli, the House Finance and Judiciary Committees are going to be meeting a little bit, next hour. Actually, House floor session begins at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Geno, we appreciate it. We'll see you back down at the Capitol soon.
Call me anytime, guys. Good to talk to you.
Absolutely. We'll get some of your thoughts next and some of the things we're keeping an eye on at the Capitol as well. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
At Glenville State University, we are pioneers. With over 45 undergraduate degree programs, 17 NCAA athletic teams, and countless campus organizations and activities, we're here to help you build your story while becoming a part of ours. Glenville State University, your dream, your future, your story. Visit glenville.edu today for more information.
WVU Medicine Nephrology is committed to providing advanced kidney care at its primary location in Morgantown's Suncrest Town Center, and also at outreach sites in Buchanan, Clarksburg, Elkins, Fairmont, Flatwoods, Grafton, Kaiser, Moorfield, and Summersville in West Virginia, and Oakland, Maryland. Our expert team of nephrologists use the latest diagnosis and treatment methods. Call 855-WVU-CARE or visit wvumedicine.org/nephrology.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZMM Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZMM, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. And we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Metro News Talk Line is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Talk line from the Encova Insurance Studios. No capital this week. Got weather going on, extreme cold. We'll be back down next Tuesday to resume our usual Capitol live broadcast from the Upper Rotunda. They didn't kick us out. We didn't eat all the buckwheat cakes and get thrown out of the Capitol on Thursday, although I tried. But we'll be back next week. Between the weather and the schedules, just thought, you know what? It's nice and cozy in the Encova Insurance Studios. We'll stay here. But we will get an update from Brad coming up just a little bit later on from the state capitol. 304-TALK, 304, the text line. Texter says, God bless Brad Smith and all he's done for Marshall, and I am proud of Marshall. Outshining West Virginia University of these last few years, they deserve it for all their hard work and dedication to education. It's like a whole attitude and style look, how they shut down all those roundabouts down there. They're in the local community, tighten it, not like up where people argue amongst each other and theorize how Morgantown is growing so much we need roundabouts. How did this turn into a roundabout rant? Even though the consensus clearly shows Morgantown is not growing at all except in Section 8 housing, says the texter. Boy, that went a lot of different areas. My point with Geno, though, was you've got Brad Smith at Marshall. You've got Michael Benson at WVU. You've got Mike Davis there at Fairmont State. You've got Mark Manchin at Glenville State. And I go on. TJ, we're small, pull in the same direction. For a long time, there's been these real or imagined rivalries, and that has actually held back progress. I think you've got some guys in place who see the bigger picture, who want to see all the states succeed. And to bring it back around to Geno's point, building this collaboratory, you got an opportunity. Everybody just move in the same direction. That's all. I just want everybody to go, look, we all want to end up at the same place. And then whoever wants to can take credit for it later.
Well, there's enough pie that everybody can win. And maybe academia can teach government how to go that way. I beat this horse all the time, but I firmly believe this state would be in a different place. May not be, extraordinarily great, but it would be better if we would have listened to Brooks McCabe 25 years ago when he was preaching Metro government. I don't think we would have a lot of the problems that we have today. I'm sorry, I don't.
Ooh, Metro government? I only chuckle because, look, man, I covered locally the Morgantown area for better part of a decade before assuming this role.
Mm-hmm.
How crazy is it that there's Morgantown and then around it there's Star City, there's Westover, there's Granville, there's Osage. There's, 4, 5 individual municipalities all butting right up against Morgantown. And all of them have their own city councils. All of them have their own, except for Osage. They don't have a police departments, fire departments. And you're sitting there scratching your head going, but what if there was just one Metro style? And then you could pool resources, and you would have more resources to work with, but you can't even pull it off locally, let alone think bigger. You know what I mean?
In the long term, I think it'll take care of itself because ultimately economics trump politics. No. I mean,
you would think so.
How long can you afford to go on? How long is it sustainable? I get everybody wants their fiefdom. I get people want to be, if you're a mayor, you don't want to give that up, but sometimes you have to do for the greater good.
However, I'll just throw this in, and we're going to have to hit the break. This is a fun conversation. We need to actually do a longer segment on this. But when your economics is, my municipality over here is growing. We've cultivated, and we've developed, and we've brought in, we've invited in these businesses. You're the town over here that has run them off. Why do I want to share our bounty with you? That's the conversation to get into up here.
I don't have enough time, but I can tell you, that ends in disaster. And that's why we should have done this long ago, before you had one municipality that's viewed as a cancer and one that's viewed as a healthy patient. That's the result of waiting too long.
It's like a donut, TJ. There's the tasty glaze part, and then there's that hole in the middle. All right, got to take a break. Back to wrap up our. I did not mean to go down that road, but here we are. Back to wrap up hour number 1 at the moment. This is Talk Line from the Encova Insurance Studios.
The weekend's almost here, and are you looking for the perfect way to enjoy the water? Lou Wendell Marine Sales has you covered with Avalon pontoon boats. These luxurious high-performance pontoons offer smooth rides, spacious seating, and top-tier durability. Built with precision and style, Avalon pontoons deliver comfort and reliability season after season. Visit Lou Wendell Marine Sales today and experience the Avalon difference. Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
The Mountain State's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show returns to Milan Park in Morgantown March 7th and 8th. Over 100,000 square feet of campers and RVs, boats and ATVs, hunting and fishing supplies, guns, knives, and more. Limited vendor space is now available. To put your products and services in front of over 10,000 outdoor enthusiasts, visit WVOutdoorSportsShow.com. The 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, presented by Can-Am, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown, a WVRC media event.
Since 1926, the West Virginia Hospital Association has been the collective voice of our state's hospitals. With a shared vision of strengthening communities, improving lives, and supporting our state's economic well-being, our member hospitals work every day to provide high-quality, accessible care. This year, we celebrate 100 years of a unified voice and our ongoing commitment to supporting our members in achieving a strong, healthy West Virginia.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org.
You're listening to Talk Line on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Hey, welcome in, everybody, one and all.
Got some breaking news to get to.
The most powerful radio show in West Virginia.
And the people absolutely love it.
That's something you're going to have to watch.
It's Metro News Talk Line.
Statewide Sports Line.
Metro News Midday.
The Metro News Hotline.
Game night.
3 guys before the game.
That's a good combination.
And it's on.
Metro News.
The voice of West Virginia.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
It's high school basketball season, and Metro News Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream Metro News Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on Metro News Television.
Virginia.
The West Virginia Lottery is turning 40 and wants to celebrate you. Play in-store and online all year and enter in the app for your chance to win a share of $3 million in cash and prizes, including cruise packages and the big $1 million draw. So don't miss out on these monthly drawings. Visit WVLottery.com for details. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. Coming up second hour. Feels like it's been a while. We're going to talk to Fox News Radio's Ryan Schmelz, find out what's happening on Capitol Hill. Could we be headed for another partial government shutdown? Maybe. Brad McElhinny will have the latest from under the Capitol Dome. And who's keeping the gas flowing to your house so your furnace runs and the stove is available to make those wonderful chicken quesadillas for supper tonight? Just had a thought.
Are you cooking tonight?
Maybe. Possibly.
You are now.
I'm kind of having a hankering for some Mexican later this evening. Anyway, Toby Rice, CEO of EQT, is going to join us coming up 6 minutes from now. This is Talk Line on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Lost him. And you know what? It was just about to get good, too. It was just getting good. We lost
Should
him.
we take the break and maybe he'll call back? I don't know.
You know what? We can take the break, and we can see if Ethan can reconnect with him, because I want to hear where he goes with that answer. I don't know. CJ, I'm just saying, we just started bringing up some deep stuff, and then it gets cut off. Is the Illuminati listening to the show? Just saying.
Welcome back to the show. 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock?
That's it. I'm going home.
Dang, man.
See ya.
I wouldn't even be on the air on any of our stations before 8 o'clock. I don't know where that came from. Reading, it's hard.
Well, I think when you have a... I'll say in all candor, when you're in a foreign country and a monkey in a diaper sitting on your head, you're asking for trouble.
Discussion can end there. That's right. Boom. It's a definitive statement on the issue. Now we move on.
So how many times have you thought about that was a bad idea that I had a monkey on my head since you had the monkey on your head?
Every time I go visit Dr. Pellegrino, my personal doctor. Do you know what it's like to tell your doctor that?
Well, Doc, I also had a monkey. Excuse me? Had a monkey on my head with a diaper on. I bet you that's the first time Dr. Ron has ever heard that one. He's probably heard a lot of things.
He's heard a lot. Yeah, Dr. Ron has.
He's one of the great West Virginians. He's up there from the Northern Panhandle.
He's awesome.
Tremendous. Yeah, Dr. Ron. Good dude.
We were talking in my office a little earlier, and a phrase that Ryan used that I was really kind of gobsmacked over. He started a sentence with me. He said, "We were watching football on Thursday."
I know, he did the same thing to me. He did this. Is this like Earth 2?
I said, what?
He came back and started telling me about the Cowboys and the Chiefs game.
know,
You
I
were
know.
watching the Lions game on Thanksgiving Day.
Well,
What happened? What happened to our little Ryan?
Well, when my Uncle Bill and my Uncle Chris asked if I want to watch football with them, I don't say no.
Okay.
So, because I'm not a recluse anymore.
So if you have uncles that are big sports fans, do you get some cred? Are you like, hey, I'm actually you want to kind of sports show, it's syndicated.
Well, I don't.
Statewide.
Well, I don't want this to be a sports show.
Second game this season that Honors had 8 threes. Second time he's had 8 threes, and his coach has pulled him out with over 4 minutes to go.
You're up 40.
Yeah, but coach just does not want to see him get that record.
There may have been a discussion about that on exactly where he was in the number.
Did you let him know this time?
But there was a discussion about where he was with the number. But at the end of the day, Ross decided the juice not worth the squeeze there. With 3.5 minutes left is when he pulled him out after the timeout there. And that's a guy with a lot of minutes on his in his body. You need to rest him. But 2 out of 11, you got to think maybe he's going to approach that again. Here's what's wild. In those 2 games where he's just been one off of Alex Ruoff's record, he's now a combined 16 of 20 from 3 in those 2 games. So he didn't just make 8 threes, guys. He was 8 of 11 last night. He was 8 of 9 when he did it before. 16 of 20 combined in those 2 games.
Across this great state of West Virginia, welcome in high school game nights. I chuckle a little bit, folks, because it said early edition.
As compared to the
Only
rest
edition.
of the edition, yeah.
Yeah. Tonight is going to be interesting, to say the least.
10 seconds remaining.
Going to be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
You had a moment of clarity about when it all started to make sense for you?
It did, because I didn't want to be a filmmaker growing up. I didn't even know what filmmaking was growing up. I used to watch Oprah and Katie Couric, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a journalist. Yeah. I wanted to be you. And I worked at West Virginia University's radio station, had a very thick accent. People would call in and make fun of me. And so I asked my roommates, my college roommates who were from Baltimore, to teach me how to talk differently. Really? Yeah. And it's a loss, I feel, from that. And it's probably one of the reasons why I love documenting people that are authentic. Like, I don't know if I'm authentic, but I think the people I find are very authentically who they are, and that's what draws me to them.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Second hour of Metro News Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios. Multiple ways for you to participate in the show. Give us a call at 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Text the show at 304-TALK-304. Those are the two ways you can be part of the program. Appreciate you tuning us in on one of our great radio affiliates across the state of West Virginia. Or if you are watching on the Metro News TV app, we appreciate your patronage. Patronage? Do you patronize this show? Sure, why not? We'll go with that.
Do. Absolutely.
Coming up a little bit later on, we'll get an update from Brad McElhinny. He is at the state capitol. We'll also hear from Ryan Schmelz, Fox News Radio, who is at the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C. TJ Meadows is in Southern Command this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Here in the greater Taze Metroplex, I'm looking out my window. The tree in my front yard is completely encased in ice. So every branch, every little tip, it's just like the water surrounded it and froze that way. It's kind of cool to look at. My kids call it the icicle tree now. So that's what we're dealing with here, man. I mean, we still got all this ice and it's still cold and none of it is melting away. And it's going to be something when it does start to melt away. We talked about that yesterday with Brian Hughes. I'm kind of worried about where all the water goes, but I guess that's the next battle for the next day.
Sounds to me like you're just bragging you've got a window.
Well, that's nice, too. Yeah, it's nice to be able to see out and see what's going on.
I haven't been able to see outside in 20 years, but, you got your window there. You are right, though. Once the snow starts to melt, we've got, like I said, about 14 inches up at my house. So once the snow starts to actually melt, which isn't going to happen anytime soon, I don't know where it's going to go. Probably end up in my basement is where it's going to end up.
Well, let's hope not.
But bitterly cold temperatures are in store for the rest of the week. It was down in the single digits here in Morgantown this morning. If you got out in the outlying areas, it was right around 0. It's going to be below 0. Wind chills are going to make it feel even colder than that. Luckily, most of us will be warm and cozy at home. Natural gas getting pumped right into the house, keeping the furnace going, probably has the stove working as well. But it's got to get there. How difficult is it to keep the utilities up and running? Joining us on Metro News Talkline this morning, the CEO of EQT, Toby Rice, joining us via Zoom. Toby, good morning. Good to talk to you, buddy.
Hey, good morning, guys.
So how difficult, when we get to temperatures where we're talking, Arctic, below 0 air temperatures, how difficult is it to continually deliver this service to homes and, make sure we're all toasty at 72 degrees?
There is a tremendous amount of effort that is taking place by the men and women on the crew to make sure the energy we produce keeps flowing. EQT, just for background, we produce almost 8 BCF a day of natural gas. It's almost 8% of the country's natural gas, all coming from Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia. Some of the things that they're out there doing in the field, the biggest risks are, pipes will actually freeze, so that will block flows. So we've got to bring out some heaters and thaw those pipes out. And then the other big winterization effort has to do with trucking water. So as you guys know, when we produce this natural gas, water comes along with it. We have water tanks on location, but when those fill up, we need to stop producing. So it's not just what's going on in the pipes; it's also what's going on in the roads. So it's not just our crews that are helping us keep flowing. It's also all the emergency responders, the truck drivers, the snow plows. Total team effort to make sure we keep this energy moving.
So Toby, saw on X some of the videos. You were out at the wells and the wellhead with these well tenders. I mean, talk about the level of physical labor that these men and women have to endure. Not just the cold temperatures are enough, man, but I mean, this is hard work. And they're out there getting it done.
Yeah. So on X, I documented an experience going out there to the field on Sunday just to give people a front row seat what it takes to keep this energy flowing when you're on the front line. So we went to a location in Washington County, Pennsylvania, and we had some freeze offs. So I was out there with Cody, trucking through probably, almost 2 feet of snow on location. And we were hauling around a heater. Cody called it the Al Gore of equipment because it blows a lot of hot air. And we were bringing a pipe around, and we try to bring that climate change to some of those frozen pipes. And we were out there for a while. I mean, I was out there for almost 6 hours, and it wasn't until another 6 hours after that they finally got the job done. But yeah, I mean, people need to understand we're out there in the elements. We're carrying heavy equipment. We're laser focused on doing everything safely, but cannot say enough about the quality of the people in the field for us. We have a saying at EQT: respect the wrench, respect the men and women that are out there in the field, because they're the ones that are making it happen.
Toby Rice joining us, CEO of EQT here on Metro News Talk Line. So what is the most common issue you're going to face over the next few days as this extreme cold temperatures come in?
Yeah, we're going to continue to fight up with pipes freezing up. The roads seem to have been getting in better conditions, but that could change if we get some more water on those roads, or if it snows some more. So those are two things we're focused on. And back in the control center where I'm at today, in our headquarters, we're monitoring all of this activity on our production control room. We have over 4,000 wells, but on those wells we've installed over 1,000 or 100,000 devices that are giving information to us in real time on the health and status of these assets. And that's what allows us to bring all that technology and data. That's what allows us to coordinate and make sure, people like Cody, our frontline workers, are getting to the right job at the right time and doing it safely and efficiently. So it is an actual tremendous opportunity. I'll just give you the high level stats of what we've been able to do here. So our normal routine operations in normal weather, we shoot for a 98% production uptime. During this winter storm, we're over 97% uptime. So this team is absolutely knocking it out of the park. And just to give you some perspective of what we're seeing in the country, because we're not the only region in the country that produces natural gas that is also dealing with cold weather. We've seen natural gas production in the U.S. Before these storms was about 109 BCF a day across the country. That dipped to almost 92 BCF a day. So you saw over 10 to 15% of natural gas supply come off only for a brief period of time. But relative to how we've performed here at EQT, we've done much better than others, and it's because of the heart and teamwork that takes place here and part of our culture.
One of the criticisms of natural gas with the delivery system, it happened during ERCOT. Some folks were critical about the fact that it couldn't be depended on for baseload generation because of some of the outcomes that we saw in Texas. I'm guessing you would disagree with that characterization. I want your take on it.
No, I would disagree aggressively on that status. When you look at the energy that's keeping homes powered, you look at PJM grid right now. Over 40% of the electricity is being generated by natural gas. That's double the next closest power generation source, which is coal, which is doing a fantastic job as well. But natural gas is the workhorse. I'll tell you that the root cause of these issues we have here is we've been in this pipeline cancellation movement for the last almost 10 years. It's gotten incredibly difficult to get energy infrastructure built. And what we've seen take place in the U.S., natural gas over the last 15 years, natural gas demand has grown by 50%. Pipeline infrastructure to service that demand has only grown by 25%. And storage infrastructure, the buffer on supply and demand, has only grown by 5%. And so what that means is, demand's gone up, but we haven't been able to keep up with pipelines. That means, pipelines are going to be maxed out. And from a storage perspective, we don't have enough storage to balance supply and demand. And that means price is going to play a much bigger role. And so when you have stressed energy systems, you're going to see crazy events, and that will show up in pricing. And it's why we see just remarkable things happening, like Mountain Valley Pipeline at the tailpipe. We saw natural gas prices hit over $100 an MCF. For perspective, natural gas prices will average $4 this year. And keep in mind, Mountain Valley Pipeline is the example of the pipeline cancellation movement. That pipeline took 8 years to get built and over $8 billion. It should have gotten done for 3 years and $3 billion. Thank goodness members in Congress acted under Joe Manchin's leadership to get that pipeline built. I mean, gas prices being 100, can you imagine what natural gas prices would have been if that pipeline wasn't built? So, this storm is a good reminder. This is a wake-up call. This is what our energy system can handle. It's incredibly stressed, and we need to get more infrastructure built in order to deal with that. And guess what? You never talked about reliability about natural gas. It's starting to become an issue because our systems are maxed out. We need more infrastructure. It's that simple.
Toby, I'm going to put you on the hot seat, or at least the slightly warm seat here before we let you go today. Governor Morrisey has said we are an energy state. He's got his 50 by 50 plan. Obviously, we're an energy state. Coal, natural gas. How do we maximize that potential in West Virginia? What do we need to – do we need regulatory framework to maximize that? How do we maximize that potential in West Virginia?
Yeah, it's very simple. We just need to make sure the political forces stay out of the way and let market forces shine. Thank goodness that West Virginia has been such a pro-energy development state to get infrastructure built. I'd say the one catalyst that has been missing in West Virginia, we have tons of gas supply. We can get that gas out of the ground and build pipelines to move it. But the one thing that's been missing has been the end use. What's the demand for this product? Well, now with the AI revolution and the tremendous amount of power generation that needs to get built, we need to attract these type of opportunities in West Virginia. And we think this is a great opportunity for West Virginia. EQT is already starting to capitalize on some of these opportunities. We're delivering natural gas to one of West Virginia's first natural gas power plants. That's remarkable. We should have a lot more natural gas power plants in West Virginia. And I think with great leadership that will let market forces work, there are things that they can do to attract more demand. And with that setup, this industry will set up to deliver and give. All of this is going to give lower prices to consumers. If we can build more, consumers will pay less. But we need to put the puzzle together and make this happen.
Toby, you talked about Joe Manchin and permitting. I think the last meaningful reform, I haven't followed as closely as I probably should, shame on me, was last Congress. You had Manchin, you had Barrasso trying to do something with permitting. Has this Congress let you down? I don't even know that we're taking a serious look at permitting reform, whether it's pipelines, building transmission lines, gas or electric, building new power plants. To your point, it takes a lot of time just to get the permit, maybe more time to get the permit than to actually build the infrastructure. So is Congress dropping the ball on this?
Yeah, listen, it's important to understand. I mean, this has been going on for years, so it's hard to pin it on the people that are in charge right now. But we've been jumping up and down saying that permit reform has been absolutely critical for years now. And, you look at the performance with this winter storm. I mean, people need to understand this is a very significant risk that the public is exposed to right now. And sure, we'll get people their energy, but guess what? Energy bills are going up. And, it's not just about getting access to energy, it's getting access to affordable energy. And we're seeing natural gas prices, and specifically power prices, go through the roof. It's completely unacceptable. And I'll tell you this, at the federal level, this administration, Trump clearly gets it. On day one, he issued a national emergency on our energy systems. And you know what? Surprisingly, there were some leaders in D.C. that mocked that declaration, that called it a sham, and said that this was a ploy to just put more hydrocarbons into the system. Well, guess what? When you step back and you look at what's keeping the lights on today, what's keeping homes warm, 90% of the power that's being generated in PJM, which serves West Virginia, is natural gas, it's coal, and it's nuclear. Okay. So these are the things that work. And for people that said that this emergency is a sham, I'll tell you this isn't fake. And one thing that's going to be real is going to be consumer energy bills. And consumers also, in addition to paying energy bills, they also vote. And I'm here to tell people these energy prices are completely unnecessary. We have the tools, the resource, and the proven track record to fix this. The key is get more low-cost energy into the system. And just to give you perspective here on natural gas prices, I mean, we're going to hear headlines on the really high natural gas prices, but when you step back and you look at the average price of natural gas for this year, even despite this storm, is going to be $4.25. Okay. Now, to put that into perspective, that's the energy equivalent of $25 barrel of oil. Okay. So this is still the most cost-effective energy that we have. We just need to make sure that we can bring this energy to market. And it's going to take leadership in DC. It's going to take local leadership. Patrick Morrisey governor is going to be playing a very important role to set the table here. And industry, one thing that's clear, industry is ready to step up, but we need a regulatory system that will allow us to act on market forces.
Toby, we'll have to leave it there for today. Toby Rice, CEO of EQT. We appreciate it. Give our best to all the guys and men and women out there in the freezing cold in the next few days. Appreciate it, buddy.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
We'll check in. Ryan Schmelz up next. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
Principal Greg Dosh of MTech.
Thanks to funding in part from West Virginia Lottery proceeds, we're expanding MTech with a new STEM edition.
Across West Virginia, opportunities like these are made possible when you play, helping to ensure more students can discover their future right here at home. For 40 years, proceeds from the West Virginia Lottery for education have totaled $4.1 billion. West Virginia Lottery, 18 plus to play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Steig Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email steig-info@wealthenhancement.com.
A couple of days ago, it looked as though we would avoid another government shutdown at the end of the month, but could that have changed? Let's go to Fox News Radio's Ryan Schmelz. Ryan, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. So could we see another shutdown? Looked like that was all set in stone and we were good to go, but things changed over the weekend.
Oh, they certainly did change over the weekend. Where we've got some betting odds markets who now think that it's like upwards of 80% chance of a government shutdown happening, and that seems about accurate because Democrats are not budging on this government funding battle and say that they want to see changes to ICE in order to get them to yes and want the DHS funding bill to be separated from the appropriations package.
Go through those dynamics a little bit, Ryan. I'm not sure how many bills are left to pass, but can they pass the other bills and just not pass the bill that has the DHS funding? So could it be a limited shutdown, I guess is what I'm getting at.
So they have 6 that they need to pass. The other 6 have been signed into law, so there's still plenty of agencies that will not get affected by a partial government shutdown. It's a very partial shutdown. The only problem is that it's probably some of the most important agencies that are up for this upcoming shutdown if we have one. So if they were to separate the DHS funding bill from the rest, the rule is that the House would have to come back and then pass the other 5 bills. It's pretty much congressional ping pong. So any changes that are made is going to require the House voting on it. So at the bare minimum, if they were to vote on the 5 bills and then come back later, you would at least still see that the House needed essentially in this case. So it's what they call congressional ping pong.
So Ryan, you're an experienced Capitol Hill reporter. How do you see this playing out over the next week or so?
Good question. At this point, it's very, very hard to tell. I mean, depends on what happens with Secretary Noem. I mean, you're seeing more and more Republicans come out and say that they are not pleased with the statement that was put out by the Department of Homeland Security and the distinction that Homeland Security was giving when it comes to the shooting death of Alex Preddy. So this is still going to be a big back and forth for the foreseeable future.
Is it fair to say that pulling Bovino, that's not enough, and putting Homan in, there still needs to be more? So to your point, it comes back to Noem. I don't think there's enough with just Bovino. Am I reading the tea leaves right?
That's what it seems like, yeah. I mean, it might be enough for some Republicans, but for Democrats, it certainly isn't enough.
Who's on the fence, Ryan? Who may be able to be swayed without a dramatic change in the administration?
I mean, you still have the same people who voted for the last funding bill, where you have Captain Cortez Masto,
You have the independent Angus King, who caucuses with Democrats. You obviously got John Fetterman, but, two of them have already come out and said that they're not going to vote for the DHS funding bill as it is. So that leaves pretty much Fetterman being the only Democrat willing to vote with Republicans to fund DHS and ultimately stop a government shutdown. So that kind of tells you how bleak this is looking unless changes are made.
Fox News Radio's Ryan Schmelz, never a dull moment on Capitol Hill. Ryan, we appreciate it. Thanks for the update.
Ain't that the truth? Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Brad McElhinny will join us coming up from the state capitol. We'll find out what's happening under the dome this morning as legislators get back to work after brief sessions held yesterday. No committee meetings yesterday due to the weather. We'll get an update from Brad. We'll get to your thoughts. We'll get to our thoughts as well. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Text the show at 304-TALK-304. That's the phone number, and that is the text line. This is Talk Line on Metro News. Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 11:30. Let's get a news update and check in with the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening across the great state of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Mike Nolting. Bitter cold air now the challenge for road crews. The cold air will prevent the temperatures from reaching the freezing mark for at least the next week. In Mon County, the roads are in decent condition, according to Mon County Commission President Tom Bloom.
How they have cleared the roads, how they prepared for it, was an amazing job. And I believe 90% of the roads are really accessible. And I want to give a shout out to Joe Pinnell and Earl Gaskin from the DOH, and also Anderson Excavating.
No serious incidents have been reported during this winter weather event. Winter weather limited legislative activities in Charleston Monday, and today the House operating on a 2-hour delay. House floor session will get started at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Thousands of Appalachian Power customers remain in the dark since the Sunday storm, and officials there say the crews are working as quickly and as safely as possible to restore electrical service. Deputies from the Harrison County Sheriff's Department investigated a DOH snowplow versus pickup truck crash Monday in Wolf Summit. Volunteers from the Reynoldsville Fire Department also responded to that crash, reported at 7:36 Monday evening. Officials said all involved in that incident refused treatment at the scene. The road was restricted for just about 90 minutes. You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
The high school basketball season is underway, and you can watch some of the state's top boys and girls matchups live and free on Metro News TV, plus our exclusive new interview series, State of Minds, and your favorite daily programs right on your smart TV or streaming device. Get more information at wvmetronewstv.com. Metro News Television is powered by Dan Cavett GMC, Gomart, Lou Wendell Marine, Stike Wealth Enhancement, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and Poca Valley. The high school basketball season is underway, and you can watch some of the state's top boys and girls matchups live and free on Metro News TV, plus our exclusive new interview series, State of Minds, and your favorite daily programs right on your smart TV or streaming device. Get more information at wvmetronewstv.com. Metro News Television is powered by Dan Cavett GMC, Gomart, Lou Wendell Marine, Stike Wealth Enhancement, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and Poca Valley.
The United Way of Harrison and Doddridge counties has launched a search for their next executive director. Former Clarksburg City Councilor and current Your Community Foundation board member Martin Howe stepped down after serving the community in that capacity for the past year. Now, the United Way Board of Directors there wasted no time in appointing Paul McInturf to serve as the interim executive director. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Mike Nolting.
Coming up, Brad McElhinny will join us from the state capitol. We'll get Brad's report from under the dome. We'll be back next week. In fact, I think next Tuesday's Marshall Day, as a matter of fact. One of my second favorite day at the state capitol.
Your first being?
Preston County Day. Buckwheat cakes, buddy.
Wow.
I get
Over
excited.
Marshall?
I get excited over buckwheat cakes.
I should say you do.
Let's get some text in. 304 Talk 304. It would be nice if you guys would focus more on the Eastern Panhandle. Speaking about research, check out what is happening at Shepherd University. You talk about thinking outside the box, but only take the easy interviews. Dr. Mary Hendricks, current president of Shepherd, is a pioneer in medical research. It would be nice for the rest of the state to hear from the EP. Tuesday Steam, says the texter. You know what? We'll make note of it. We will effort that, as they say.
You can pitch me anything.
Oh, we're generally open to most ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Texter says, TJ, you're working from home? I thought Donald Trump ordered everybody back to work.
I got to tell you something. I worked from home for over half my career in corporate America. Before the pandemic, after the pandemic. I don't care. It doesn't matter. You can be productive at home. It's not about where you are. It's about what kind of employee you are. If you're a bad employee, you'll be a bad employee at home. You'll be a bad employee in the office. If you're a good employee, you'll be a good employee at home. I would argue you'll be more productive than in the office, but to each his own. But that's the naked skinny on that one, man. I mean, that's just the bare truth right there.
Texter says, 74, Dave. 74 in the winter, 76 in the summer. LOL, says the texter. What do you keep the house at in the winter? I think we're like at 70. We keep it fairly cool. It's, it's my wife and I, but
68, brother.
Yeah.
I like it a little chilly.
Now, the
I have been
studio
known to really turn it down in the summer too to about 68. So let's be fair.
Now, this studio, I will tell you, we have a side of beef hanging over in the corner, if that gives you some idea of how cool we keep it in here. This is a long one, so hang with me. Dave and TJ, 2 things today. First, the state needs to make sure they have a plan in place to keep a mass of people warm in case of a severe ice storm disaster. That could be statewide. Example, look to the south of us. These warming centers need to operate 24 hours and have a place for animals like a kennel. People will not leave their animals. Finally, Wayne County is dealing with a terrible water contamination disaster. The state needs to make sure that every water plant has a warning system to alarm them before a chemical makes its way into the water facility. Once the chemical gets in there, it may take weeks to flush out the pipes. So the answer is early notification systems. Thank you, says the texter.
I'm cool with that. Maybe don't vandalize a substation either so that oil leaks into your water supply. There's 2 parts to that story. I mean, come on. You're killing yourself and your own community when you do those things.
Yeah, is the simple answer. Yeah. I think the texter brings up some, look at that, common sense and logical points.
It'll get you there almost every time, won't it?
The next texter clearly does not believe in common sense and logical points. Nazi, Gestapo, murderer, racist, but Noam was the one out of line. Okay. Look, here's my 30-second take on that. And I have no interest in trying to break down what happened, what may have happened, what was perceived to have happened. That's what the investigation's for. I will say this, though. Kristi Noem has been a failure as DHS secretary. There has been a lack of leadership out of that agency. Her tactics that have been, Cody Ludanowski is the other one that was on her side for these mass sweeps through the city. They haven't worked. And they've taken what has been an issue the president was winning on, one of the few issues that he was still above water on, and has flipped it around. I think she's been a failure as the DHS secretary.
Couldn't agree more. Executive failure, administrative failure, PR failure.
Oh, yeah.
The way she came out and the way she characterized that over the weekend ahead of the White House, her and Bovino as well. Get rid of that guy. Just don't reassign him. I mean, to me, for a guy that doesn't hesitate to fire people, Noam is the easiest firing Trump will ever make.
Absolutely.
Do it today. Do it today.
The PR, you want a class on how to not handle a crisis situation. See the DHS and the way they've dealt with these last 2, with the death of Renee Good and the death of Alex Preddy here. Look, terrible. The first thing you should say was, we need to let the investigation play. Isn't that the basic statement, right? We need to let the investigation play out. You come out with these narratives that don't match the video, what we can all see.
No, not at all. And Bovino especially, he came at us or he walked toward us with a 9mm and 2 So we have the Second Amendment. He clearly was not brandishing a gun, was clearly not. I mean, why do you do that? You set yourself up for failure because you know you're in the wrong and you're trying to sweep it under the rug. I really don't want to get into it either, but I think my 10-year-old could look at that video and understand who was in the right and who was in the wrong on that one. I truly do.
But again, I go back. Noem's been a failure as DHS secretary. Absolute failure.
Complete. What do they call her? Barbie something or other. What's her nickname now with the hat? Cowboy Barbie or something? I think that's what they're. I mean, yeah. If ever there was one that was let go, man. I mean, I don't know what they're waiting on in the White House, honestly.
Well, it was Starwalt a couple of weeks ago that asked me, haven't you ever watched The Apprentice? No, actually I didn't. Maybe, but hey, let's bring it back. We can put it on Metro News TV. The Apprentice, White House edition. Producer Jake, get on that. Brad McElhinny is going to join us from the West Virginia State Capitol. The House Education Committee was meeting this morning. They were discussing what TJ and I have termed the school bailout bill. That was the bill that was introduced and passed quickly through the House of Delegates last week in response to the financial crisis in Hancock County. What questions did senators have this morning? Brad McElhinny was eavesdropping on that committee meeting. We'll talk to Brad coming up, find out what else is happening under the dome this morning. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
It's the busiest time of year, and your business can't afford downtime. With CityNet's managed IT and network services, we keep your technology running smoothly so you can stay focused on your customers. From cybersecurity to communications, our local experts have you covered. Count on dependable service and responsive support from a company that's right here in West Virginia. Learn more at citynet.net. CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
Hospitals drive West Virginia's economy. They produce jobs and create opportunities while keeping our communities healthy. Employing nearly 54,000 people, West Virginia hospitals rank among our state's largest and most dependable employers. They provide more than $1 billion in community benefits and generate nearly $17 billion in total economic impact each year. Hospitals are investing where it counts, advancing health, ensuring access to care, and powering West Virginia's economic future.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at wvha.org.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
Hey, welcome in, everybody, one and all. You got some breaking news to get to.
The most powerful
radio show in West Virginia.
And the people absolutely love it.
That's something you're going to have to watch.
It's Metro News Talk Line.
Statewide Sports Line.
Metro News Midday.
The Metro News Hotline.
Game night.
3 guys before the game.
That's a good combination.
And it's on.
Metro News.
The voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Metro News Talk Line is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
CityNet makes technology simple for your business. From network monitoring to IT management, their experts keep you connected and protected. Learn more at citynet.net. CityNet connects, protects, and perfects. 304 Talk, 304 the text line at 800-765-8255. Among the meetings that were happening this morning at the state capitol, the Senate Education Committee was meeting and discussing the school bailout bill that was passed quickly through the House of Delegates last week in response to the financial crisis in Hancock County. When we were at the Capitol last week, some of the senators expressed some skepticism about that bill. Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny was eavesdropping in on that meeting. He joins us from the bowels of the state capitol. Good morning, Brad.
Oh, hello. Good morning. And yes, I was doing more than just eavesdropping. I was in the room with my head against the back wall, resting it. So a couple of weeks ago, Metro News Talkline co-host TJ Meadows, in a segment much like this, asked me if lawmakers really should consider this situation with emergency school funding as a broader part of the whole. Maybe just take a look at, school funding generally. And I said, well, I think that lawmakers might need a greater degree of run-up to do something ambitious like that. However, at the end of today's meeting, where the Senate Education Committee was taking a look at House Bill 4574, which was instigated by a financial emergency in Hancock County, they laid it aside. They took no action at all at the end of the meeting. And I am glad to be here today because I got to ask a couple of people, including the Senate Education Chairwoman Amy Nicole Grady, as well as Senator Eric Tarr, why that was so. Tarr, in particular, asked a bunch of questions more broadly about education funding and a little more specifically about how many other counties are potentially in emergencies like Hancock. And the reason for laying this bill aside is that at least Tarr, who's a member of that committee, and I think also on board, but maybe less explicitly, is Senator Grady herself, with not necessarily even overhauling this bill or amending it or tinkering with it, but I think this may be leading to this sort of holistic approach advocated by Talkline co-host TJ Meadows.
Wow, you really make me out to be more than what I am there. Thank you, sir. With that said, is the worry potentially, Brad, that the financial minds, those that are more financial keyed in the legislature, I should say, like a Tarr, they just don't have enough information. And I don't know that the state fully has gauged what kind of hole we may have here, to your point, with the number of school systems or with special ed funding that we talked about last week. So that uncertainty and unknowing, how much of that is just, let's put the brakes on here until we figure all this out and get a number so we can figure out whether or not we can live with it.
Well, I think it's that, this bill was born of an emergency that now it's harder to make a case that there is an emergency. I mean, certainly Hancock County has problems, but it appears that the county school system employees are going to be paid and are secure with their paychecks until summer. So that gives some time. But, truly there are other counties in West Virginia that have other financial problems. The issue of having to consolidate schools because the school aid formula can't keep up with demand has continued and continued and continued. And so I think that's a reason why there is maybe a brake being applied to this particular bill, but maybe a broader look at education funding. Having said broader look at education funding, a couple of things strike me. Today, believe it or not, is day 14 of the regular legislative session. It's 60 days. Even I can do this math. We are almost a quarter of the way through. And then, I didn't get a chance to ask Senator Tarr this. The Senate bell rang to go into session, but he's the same guy who said that the Senate went into this session with no plan, no agenda. Can you begin a quarter of the way through the session to revamp West Virginia school funding generally and get it done by the 60-day mark? I mean, you can, but it's a big lift, I think.
Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny joining us from the state capitol. What else on the agenda today, Brad?
Yeah, the Senate has essentially on time, and so they had their floor session. They're going to move to agendas with committees this afternoon, but the House got a late start. They intentionally were coming in at 1 o'clock today. They're having their floor session at that point and committee meetings after. One of the things that we're kind of watching on the floor session for the House is this bill that has to do with human trafficking and human transport. But human trafficking is a thing that you should be against, but it's all in the definitions. And so there is a question mostly raised by Democrats about, well, if well-meaning church groups are transporting illegal immigrants to their jobs or to a doctor's appointment, are they going to wind up in trouble? Is this bill, going to have consequences that are not intended for well-meaning people? I think that bill is going to be up today. It's on a passage vote, but there also is, this is going to be good content. There's a rules committee meeting right before the House floor session, and that's the traffic cop of meetings. Things go on and off of agendas. So we who cover the legislature on a regular basis are taking a look, watching that meeting to see if maybe the controversial bill comes off the agenda, because, I mean, honestly, just getting by in the snow and the ice and the sidewalks and the freezing temperatures, that's a bit of enough today without blowing a lid on controversial topics.
Make sure I understand. So it's on third, if I heard you correctly, to move over. Rules Committee, Speaker chairs that. So is this essentially his call de facto if he wants to place it on the holding calendar or not?
Yeah, leadership. And I don't know what they might do. The House has not been having rules committees, to my knowledge, until this point. So to me, that just having it indicates there will be some things going on and off of the active agenda today. But I don't know necessarily that it's this one. That's at 12:30. It's an open meeting like anything else. If you are super intrigued by what I have just told you, gentle listeners, you can go to the House's YouTube page and take a listen. But anyway, there's some poly-market betting that bill might come off the agenda.
Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny, his Capitol Report, brought to you by AARP, your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State. Connect on social media at AARP West Virginia and learn more at aarp.org/WV. Brad, always appreciate it. Stay warm there in the Capitol.
I will not. Thank you, though.
Appreciate it, Brad McElhinny. You can read his coverage, comprehensive coverage from the state capitol, over at WVMetroNews.com. Final break, last call for phone calls, last call for text. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
Hospitals drive West Virginia's economy. They produce jobs and create opportunities while keeping our communities healthy. Employing nearly 54,000 people, West Virginia hospitals rank among our state's largest and most dependable employers. They provide more than $1 billion in community benefits and generate nearly $17 billion in total economic impact each year. Hospitals are investing where it counts, advancing health, ensuring access to care, and powering West Virginia's economic future.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
It's high school basketball season, and Metro News Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream Metro News Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
.304 Talk 304 is the text line. 800-765-8255 the phone number. The West Virginia Lottery is turning 40 and wants to celebrate you. Play in-store and online all year and enter in the app for your chance to win a share of $3 million in cash and prizes, including cruise packages and the big $1 million draw. So don't miss out on these monthly drawings. Visit WVLottery.com for details. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. 304 Talk 304. You two crack me up. Someone from the right is killed. You are all both sides. Someone from the left is killed. Now you're the right's fault. Almost funny, says the texter. Oh, no. Well, I can't speak for TJ. I was just taking a moment to say that Kristi Noem was an abject failure. The same can be said for Tim Walz, in my opinion. There has been zero leadership. It is from anybody in this particular incident throughout, what are we on, a couple of weeks now? 3 weeks? Has it been 3 weeks this has been going on in Minnesota? Zero leadership from anywhere.
the truest thing Tim Walz ever said is when he introduced himself to this country in the debate and said, "I'm a knucklehead" some of the time. That is the truest statement that ever came out of his mouth.
There is culpability on the left for encouraging people to put themselves into very dangerous situations. Absolutely. Absolutely. But Nome's been a failure. 304 Talk 304. Christy Nome and DHS is the next version of Elon and Doge. Plunder and blunder. Dave and TJ, I think where the Trump administration is making mistakes regarding ICE is they should first be focused when they go into an area is what has created the problem. Someone is allowing this. There's been two. I was reading a Wall Street Journal article this morning, TJ. We certainly don't have time because we are up against the clock. There's been two very different perspectives on how to handle deportations. There was the Nome side and there was the Tom Homan side, which was much more of a measured, methodical approach. And
Homan got it right.
Yep.
He was right.
Yep. And he's headed to Minnesota. We are headed out of here. Well, TJ's already home, so he doesn't have to go anywhere. I'm headed out of here. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning at 10:06. Metro News Midday is coming up next on many of these same Metro News radio stations. Follow the news of the day at wvmetronews.com. For Jake, Ethan, and TJ, I'm Dave. Talk to you tomorrow morning at 10:06. Talk Line on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.